No Budget Productions, in association with Lack of Funds Films, presents TV for Oxymorons. This episode is a parody of the pretensions of foodies, food writers, and critics, and winos. It alludes to practices not generally condoned in polite society, so viewer discretion is advised, especially for children under 18. So welcome. You are about to become a fly on the wall. That was close. This program is made possible by a generous grant from the charitable trust of No Cracks P&P Inc. No Cracks P&P, for sealing cracks in non-stick pots and pans. Yes, with No Cracks P&P, you no longer have to throw out your old non-stick cookware. No Crack prevents all those pesky carcinogenic coatings from mingling with your food. One tube of No Cracks, applied with your own saliva and finger, will fill in the cracks in your pans, making them better than new. Residue may cause dry mouth, excessive sweating, and in rare cases, excessive death. Alert your doctor if you are pregnant or planning to become pregnant or are a resident of Texas. Notify your doctor immediately if you are allergic to No Cracks P&P or any of its ingredients which you cannot identify or pronounce correctly anyway. Also good off-label for hemorrhoids and anal fissures. Residents of Florida and Texas may be eligible for state-subsidized discounts for willingness to use the product in proximity to food. Now back to our program. Join Bobby Guy, a very successful Park Avenue orthodontist, who has already invested in a new restaurant to be run by celebrity chef, star of the Gourmand Channel and Bon Vivant, Garnett Lagusi, and a friend and potential investor, Jeffrey Donner, who for reasons of confidentiality is insistent that no one knows his name, but who is more than willing to invite you to his next annual winter party in the High Sierras. Bobby Guy has hired a consultant to help assure his friends and his investment are safe.
Look here. Your consultant is now half an hour late, so why don't we, to be honest, I'm running out of small talk. Bobby, you're already in, so just tell me what this place is going to be called, what type of cuisine is it going to have, feature, theme, target, demographic, location, lease terms, and all the numbers. I take where I invest my money seriously. I know restaurants are risky, so I have to make sure I minimize the risks. Minimizing risks. That's how I live my life.
I hear you. I'm sure she will be here soon. Her name is Ima Cookin. Very special lady. I want you to know just how she plans to minimize the risks for both of us. You know, she is also a food critic for Food and Muscatel magazine, an author of many cookbooks, including the all-time bestseller, The Complete Guide to Michelin Restaurants, From Stars to Tires. Can I get you another coffee?
No thanks. But would you have any finger food?
Sorry, no.
A lady finger would have been perfect.
Oh, finally here. What was the problem?
Problem? No problem. Just fashionably tardy, so no apologies. So sorry. Now, who might you be?
I'm Donner, Jeffrey Donner. I'm a litigation partner at Billings, Jack Upped and Howe, and I have personal investments in exotic meat sources. I'm thinking of investing it with Garnett Lagusi, and Bobby here assures me you have ways to lower risk factors. So start pitching.
Don't pitch. Let me just open this highly illustrative PowerPoint presentation. I have one and only one principle, honed from years of experience, that will shepherd you on the journey. Knowledge is power, but packaging is everything.
Get specific, please.
Maybe Jeffrey needs some examples. He won't mind me telling you he's a very cautious guy. Sometimes he gets stuck, especially when he's hungry, which is all the time.
Okay, let's start with the choice of restaurant name. The name must be distinctive, stand out, demand attention. There are thousands named restaurants. Emerald's, Anthony's, Ming's, Tito's, Pierre, Schmolke Bernstein, Famous Ray's, Original Ray's, and Ray's, Bali by the Sea, and Napoli by the Slide. That's why I've chosen names for you to consider that will draw attention, create mystery, a need to find out by going there, and generate publicity. So what about sepsis, gas, asbestosis, abundant gluten, ptomaine, acidic IBS, the E. coli, and finally, gastroparesis. Sounds Greek. The choice is yours, and you do not have to make it now. Just let it marinate for a few days. Marinate. Just a witticism, not a choice.
Okay, now what about menu and a chef? Ultimately, that will determine profit.
Indeed, you're a food critic. In fact, let me invite you over to my place for dinner. For dinner. I'd love to have you for dinner. So what are your recommendations?
Again, the goal is to reduce risks. So we eliminate being a copycat establishment. We want customers or the press to say, not another French restaurant. So we have to offer a menu that has a variety of ethnic cuisines, caters to the latest trends, fads and themes, and puts chips on black and red and all the numbers at once. So let me introduce you to the chef that can pull that off. He is Chef Julia Childs.
What the
Yes, that's what I said. Now, everyone knows and respects the late Miss Childs, and this man's legal name is Julius Childs. Guy, say it 5 times fast and see what you get.
Julius Childs, Julius Childs, Julius Childs, Julia Childs.
Now we have a named chef, and we need him to create a varied menu that has traditional favorites and new creative dishes with a combination of ingredients used in unique ways. Julius is our man. Great backstory. Knife skills, 5 years in Attica. Sous chef, another 5 years at Sing Sing. And finally, achieving award-winning recognition for his work at Kraft Foods Test Kitchen. The Gold K Ed Herlihy Medal for creating a dish that incorporated the most Kraft products. Chef Child's masterpiece combined 20 Kraft products in one dish. His award-winning Red Velvet Velveeta Soufflé particularly stood out for combining Oscar Mayer bologna bits, marshmallow fluff, Miracle Whip, and Heinz ketchup and pickles. Followed by a dessert specially developed by Breyer's Ice Cream, Anchovy Crunch Fudge Ripple.
Well, that's our chef now. What about the menu?
Is this guy going to cost us an arm and a leg? And I am getting hungry right about now.
Our menu will be risk-proof, appealing to the widest range of tastes. All items will have names in many different languages, with English translations in 4-point type under them. So, Hampurlinen Finnish for burger will be presented as a round of seasoned select ground beef prepared to your desired temperature, served on artisan bun and garnished with various condiments. And then, in large type, $30.
Whoa! Who's going to pay $30 for a burger? Or are we serving prime beef?
No, we're using select beef.
As far as I know, there is no such grade as select. And I know I will not do anything illegal.
When you call your supplier and ask for the cheapest chopped meat available, do you not make a selection? Well, the name of the dish and its description, plus elaborately decorated plate presentations, dim lighting, and most of all, micro flowers and carved radishes and foam are more than enough to justify the selling price. The kind of patrons we want are those who assume that the higher the cost, the better the product will be. So our formula has to be high price plus obscure foreign-sounding description and elaborate plate presentation equal profit. Now, combine that with lower-end food masked by fancy sauces, combined with slightly smaller diameter plates to make smaller portions seem larger, and voila! Perfection!
Aren't you leaving out the two most profitable parts of the menu, wine and desserts?
Proper pairing of wine and entree is essential. It enhances the heart in the meal.
You're right. So let's discuss the plan now. 97% of your clientele know nothing about wine and are intimidated by waitstaff and sommeliers. 1.5% only know white goes with fish and poultry and red goes with red meat. And 1% drink beer. That leaves only about 0.5% of customers who may be inclined to show off their knowledge by sending a bottle back. So, no real worries. First of all, the markup on wine is so high that we can easily absorb the loss. And second, with my plan, there will be no loss because the return one now becomes premium vin de maison, house wine by the glass, with a premium price. Second part of the plan, presentation. We hire a professional actor skilled in improv and dressed accordingly to play the part of the sommelier, complete with a taban hanging from his neck.
Doesn't he or she have to know a lot about wine?
No, that's why we need an actor good at improv and armed with a list of words they can use in a conversation, such as fruity, citrus, overtones, undertones, vintage, complex, robust, slightly faint, acidity, balanced, oh, and I could go on. Remember, the quickest way for the sommelier to get out of trouble is to agree with the customer and compliment their knowledge and sophistication.
What about desserts?
Desserts seal the deal. We never skimp on them. They should be elaborate, delicious, big, and wonderfully presented. Why? Because it is the last experience the customer has with the meal, and usually the last good memory.
So, okay, Jeff, are you ready to sign and write a check?
Just a moment. I didn't tell you about my secret sauce. An early review I've already written, which will be syndicated and be part of my weekly TV appearance on Good Morning Universe. 95% of the review will cover ambience and lighting, utilizing my prodigious command of noteworthy adjectives. Keep in mind that ambience and service will take up 95%. Parking availability, 2%. 2% to a description of the neighborhood, and only 1% will refer to the food. People who read restaurant reviews would probably order ambiance if it were on the menu. And as my review will state, reliable sources tell me the restaurant is already booked out 3 months and is a hard table to get.
Isn't that unethical?
Since 2020, all ethics are subjective and relative. To be ethical now is defined as doing anything to further your own agenda. In addition, I have a list of celebrities for hire, mostly listers who will be invited to dine here for a fee and a meal, a list of paparazzi to shoot them coming and going, and a boiler room operation to post positive reviews and comments on social media.
Let's see. You're going to have B-less folks shot and boiled, not broiled?
No. How did you come to that idea?
Never mind. I was just thinking aloud about something else and still hungry.
Well, thanks so much, Ima. That was quite a presentation. And Jeff, are you ready to join us now?
I will marinate on that and get back to you soon. Right now, I'm just looking forward to my dinner with Ima. By the way, Ima, you look so thin for a food critic. Would you mind telling me how much you weigh?
Thanks for watching another episode of TV for Oxymorons. Join us next time for a discussion of Amelia's sex on the assembly line. Will it enhance productivity? So goodbye for now, and hey, watch out for all those oxymorons out there. Foodies.